Today is the 7th of March, the camera's rolling. Welcome everybody. I'm just here in the studio. I'm just having a bash at making some pitchers or jugs. Just show you a couple of pictures that I got here. These came out of the last firing. Already getting clay on them. So this one, just so you can compare these two forms. The one on the right side here is a bit more concave here, whereas this one is a bit more convex there in that area. Other than that, they're pretty much the same. Other than the glaze this is a field glaze with wood ash sprayed over it. Quite nice. And then this is my I call it crocodile, but I don't know why it reminds me of a crocodile maybe. It's got milk in it at the moment, so I have to be careful. This is a slightly drier glaze. It's just basically a mixture, a 50-50 mixture of wood ash and red clay. Okay, so I like that. Anyway, I'm just trying to make some more pictures. These are raw glaze once fired, and yeah, so I've just done this one, and I'm going to do another one. These are 1.5 pounds, and thrown, let's see, thrown about 7.25. At least that one is. Okay. So cutting off, always with the wheel going round, okay? None of this stationary cut off that I see. Always have your wheel revolving when you cut off. You get a better cut. Especially if you've got a twisted wire, you get a better. It's a slightly low slung belly. Like those guys over there, also slightly low slung in the belly. Right, I'll find a place to put him. Yeah, a twisted cut-off wire with a wheel going around, you'll find that you'll be able to lift your pots off. Clean your hands, okay, and then just simply off he comes. Okay. So let's do another one. Yeah, I want to put some more of these down the bottom of the kiln. This time I'm going to get that firing hopefully better, and extend the. If you saw the results of the last firing when I opened it, you saw a lot of these pictures and ones that had wood ash, they ran, and not only that, I had bloating as well. I had a double bummer there. So it just goes to show what can happen if you're not paying attention, you see. Now, I hadn't been firing a kiln for a little while, so I was a bit out of touch. Out of touch. Yep. Haven't been on the wheel for a little while, I'll be honest, and it's nice to be back. Maybe you haven't been on the wheel either, and you've been thinking, oh well, when the weather warms up, I'll get out there and do it. Well, it's certainly good to be back. Back in the clay. So just centering this. Now I'm opening up down the bottom, forming in the base there, opening him out. Yeah, the days are lengthening because it's now, I don't know, it must be about 5:30 and it's still light. So basically utilising cylinder throwing skills here, of course, just to lift up that clay. Dee, dee, dee. Just bring it on up. Bring it on up. So, pushing in at the base a bit there, lifting, widening out to the belly, and then on up to the lip. Notice my hand posture. You see, one hand supporting the other. Don't work with two independent hands. Keep your hands joined as much as you can. Not a bad tip. Not a bad tip. Alright, so hope my head's not going to get in the way. Now I can move this a little bit around that way. Just a touch. Okay. Oh. Yeah, okay. Sort of low slung belly, convex below the belly, but sorry, concave below the belly, but then slightly convex above. What I mean is the form here is convex, whereas below the belly it's concave. If you parle français, you know what I mean? Oh, a little bit of late afternoon sunshine there coming in. Dee 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 dee. Yeah. That's about 7 inches, I guess. Yeah, 7 1/8. 7 1/8. So if you're throwing and you're finding your pot gets a bit wide at the top, finish the bottom section of the pot first, okay? And then as you come up here, then close in the top, okay? You won't have to go back in again then, other than to sponge out. Get yourself a sponge on a stick, you see, and you won't have to put your hand in. So the top here, sort of like that, you see. So part of what I want to do with these jugs, and I'll kind of explain this as I go, these pictures I should say. Jugs if you come from UK, and pictures if you come from the US. Yeah, one of the things I actually want to do is, I'll pick this one up because it doesn't have the milk in it. Here, you know, it's very difficult, isn't it? I don't know if you've had experience with this, but to get a pouring lip that when you pour, it doesn't dribble at all. That's kind of hard, isn't it? Certain things I've discovered help to make it work better. One is, don't have the lip too thick, number one. Number two, don't have too much glaze all over the lip here, so it's rather bulbous with glaze. That will just encourage a dribble. You really want a sharp edge there for a nice cut-off, don't you? So I've got some ideas about how to make a pouring lip that hopefully is not going to dribble at all. It's a little bit of an experiment. It's not an original idea of mine. I saw it once on an industrial coffee pot and I thought, wow, that's a good idea. I'll see if I can copy that. Now this particular one has got a drier glaze. This is a slightly drier type of glaze compared to the other one, which means that the edge here is almost like the clay it's a much thinner glaze. So it's left the edge sharper here. This one pours I can actually get this one to pour and not dribble. Other times when I pour it, it will dribble. It all depends sometimes on your, you know, like when you pour, if you pour in a kind of slow way, you might get a dribble, but if you pour, whoop, you get that cut off of that droplet, you see, it happens a bit better. So, yeah. Yeah, so I'm going to be experimenting with that. I'm going to want to make a few of these and see if we can get it to work. If it does, I'll pass it on to you. Because I don't really like teapots and pitchers, you know, that dribble, especially if they dribble excessively. I don't like them. I sort of think it's a design flaw, isn't it? But it's always difficult, you see. You know, if you get a metal pitcher or something like that with a very, very thin edge, of course it pours beautifully, doesn't it? But to make one out of pottery, you see, if you make it with a very, very fine edge, it's then vulnerable to chipping. So you've got to think about all these. Maybe somebody out there has got an idea for, oops, what's going on over there? Cat is, yeah, so it's got a rather sticking out elbow here right at the very top. That, well, we'll leather him. Got to sponge him out as well. See, I've got some water down there. Alright, so what did he end up? 7, yeah, 7 1/4, same as the other one. So we'll cut him off. Are we in the picture? Are we in the picture? Yeah, we'll put him by the other one. Okay, so just spin that wheel a little bit, not very much. Take your wire, clean it, okay? Thumbs onto the wire, down. Another thing also, if you've got a mucky wheel head here with lots of clay, not a bad idea, even before you cut off, just to clean back the water, okay? Like that. Okay, and with it just spinning slowly, then take your wire, thumbs onto the wheel head and straight through. Keep it taut as you pull it, okay? Don't let it go slack when you pull it. Keep it taut. Keep it taut, piece of cake. Alright, and now it'll just come off easy. So many of you out there, you see, struggle with lifting wear off the wheel head, don't you? You throw on bats, you throw on square bats, you throw on round bats. Every time you throw, you've got to have a pile of these bats. It's extra work, and you really don't want to do that. So try the way I'm trying to show you. There's no big secret to it. Well, no, there's no secret. Clean hands, clean pot, clean the pot off with your throwing stick, okay, at the base where you're going to lift it off. Just skim off some of that slurry with your throwing stick. And helpful to have a cut-off wire that's twisted, okay. This is actually twisted nylon, all right. I sell these if you want them, they're on my website. So clean hands, clean pot, twisted wire with the wheel going around, cut off, and then get underneath it, okay, good contact area with your hand. And the fourth thing is confidence, okay, fear not. That's the secret. Fear not. If you do those things, you'll find, then lift, you'll find it, woo, it'll just come. It'll just, woo. It'll just, woo. Hey, thanks for joining us, folks. Go to my website, simonleachpottery.com. I'm trying to get some more ware, pots up there and things, slowly. Getting this stuff up onto the Etsy shop is like, it's like molasses for me. It's very slow. I have pots here, but I don't always have them up on Etsy. If you're interested in a pot, or ask to see a list of pots for sale, and I can let you have one. Otherwise, go to Etsy. There's tools there. There's workshops there. We've got workshops. March and April are full. June is filling up. I have 2 workshops in June, and one of them is got 4 people on it. The other one is pretty free. July, August. July, what am I talking about? Hang on, March, April, May is filling up, not June. June has still got quite a few vacancies, so has July and August. Come on a workshop, you'll enjoy it, and it's a great place here, Milheim. Lovely Penns Valley, good fishing, Penn State University. Lots of Amish around here, things to do, good beer, live music, art gallery, coffee shop, etc, etc. So yeah, I come for a couple of days and unwind, get on the wheel, get centered. Good. Okay, folks, thanks for joining us. As always, keep practicing, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye now.